live stream trying this thing out. It's fall. I'm happy for that. Anyway, what I want to talk about in this video is why it is dumb to approach females nowadays, unless you're a high value man. It is absurd to approach women in the society if you're unless you're a high value man, and unless like you're trying to get thick skin and you want to get used to rejection. I have a lot of reasons, but here's a few. You're just wasting your time. Even if like you do get a woman, you do get her attention, and you get her number or whatever, it's you're still competing with a lot of guys on the internet. Okay. What I think is, if you want the girls, if you're not, you need to gain some type of online presence, have a lot of followers, they need to see like your personality online, things like that. They're already in the digital reality, they're already in the metaverse. You can see it because they're like always on their phone. They're always on their phone. The new social proof is online presence. That's the new social proof. You see all these people following this and that. They can see that. They can see how you are, your personality, like the content you're into, all that. That's where we're going with things. You know, the real world, COVID kind of did things, made things go sideways a little bit, but yeah, the old school, like these PUAs, just go to the nightclubs and all that. And I don't know if I think that they're just trying to sell stuff. If you're a high value man, you don't even need to approach women, really. You really don't. You're good looking, you're over 6 foot tall, you're well presented, like you don't have to really put in any work. But if you're somebody of my stature, my value in society, which is minuscule, and trust me, I used to do pretty well with the ladies. I'm not saying I got 10s. I'm not saying I got 9s. I got some okay looking, some decent looking women in my day. And I pretty much looked very similar to how I looked then. But things have changed so dramatically with females because they're getting so much attention online. That's why I think it's just so old school, and it's kind of becoming cringe to approach women in person in modern society. They're not approachable anyway, and they're to the point where if you're short, like, you have no chance, really, man. You really don't. So build up your bank account. They're into shiny things. The good news is if you're a short man, listen, it's kind of good to go monk mode right now. It's kind of good to avoid women. I think it's okay to keep your game, practicing your game with females, talking to them, but taking them serious at all right now is just something that is just, it's not a good idea. It's not gonna last long. There's got to be some type of point where there's gonna be a major downturn in our society, and everyone's gonna feel it, and it's not gonna be pretty, man. It's not gonna be pretty at all. I highly doubt that we're gonna get hit by nukes. I mean, we could. The way that our leaders are running things right now, it could happen. I guarantee you, if Trump was in there right now, none of this shit would be going on. But I just don't think that we're gonna go to any type of nuclear escalation. But I'm saying, like, it could happen. It's a possibility. But I think that we're definitely gonna feel it economic wise, and I think that a lot of these females that are single and they're living on their own are gonna feel very vulnerable. The ones that are empowered and strong and don't need no man, they're definitely gonna feel very vulnerable coming up very shortly. With the crime going up, they're gonna feel like, man, it would be nice to have a man in the house to help protect me. Why don't women approach men? How comes that doesn't happen? A couple of reasons is their fragile ego. Their ego is so fragile, and you can see it on the internet how they have to have all type of censorship for talking anything derogatory about females, because you don't want to hurt their feelings, even though that they want equality. Their small stature is probably intimidating for them physically to approach a man anyway. Like, how comfortable do women feel going on a walk in a park with somebody they don't know, like they just met, bringing them back to their house, letting them know where they live? They feel threatened. They don't feel safe. They have to feel like a comfortability, like you're not going to hurt them. You're physically stronger. I mean, it's pretty common sense why females don't want to approach. But I'm telling you, realistic standards. Your standards are absolutely astronomical, and it makes sense, because if 70% of our population is fighting for the top 5% of men, which what I was talking about on my other video today I made, is why they don't want to, they can't get a man, because you're fighting over the same guy, and he has all the selection in the world, you know, and guys only settle down usually because it's, you know, they either want to have kids or that's traditionally how they got a mate, you know, got them to commit. Like, a woman would usually get a man to commit or whatever. I don't know. I didn't live back then. That's just, maybe I'm confusing things. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So women are gonna have to change their game up seriously, like huge, and they're gonna have to look at their followers and the people that are low value men are simping on them. But they're gonna have to realize, what is this gonna do for me? Me continually putting up these pictures to get validation. How is that gonna affect me in 10, 20, 30 years when I'm by myself? Like, for instance, if I was a woman and I was like 20 and I had an OnlyFans, if I was gonna do that, go that route, you damn sure you best believe I'm going to invest my money into proper things. I'm not going to live high on the hog. I'm gonna live as minimal as I can, because my value down the road is gonna be completely diminished. There's some guys that would be cool with a porn star wife, but generally speaking, most men aren't going to want that in a long-term relationship. So that's just the nature of the beast. I'm sorry to say, but yeah.